his typical ease faltered, and the air between them became stiff and awkward. Bonwit Teller had been one of New York's most exclusive, well-appointed department stores. But 3 years into the Great Depression, its rows of mink coats and shelves of baccarat glass sat unsold, and, teetering on the cusp of bankruptcy, Mr. Bonwit had been forced to sell. The new owner, Floyd Odlum, was a Wall Street tycoon and one of America's richest men. So far, Mr. Bonwit had managed to keep Floyd at bay, holding on to his large carpeted office and his position as store president. But now, Floyd's wife had made a sudden appearance, and Mr. Bonwit was confounded by the arrival of this 41-year-old mother of two. While she had shopped plenty, Hortense had never worked, and certainly not in a store. "There's a small office down the hall, Mrs. Odlum, where I hope you'll be comfortable," Mr. Bonwit finally ventured. "And by the way, my secretary will be glad to take your dictation when you need her." Hortense's face reddened. She didn't want to be there any more than Mr. Bonwit wanted her to be. But her husband had asked her to make the rounds of the store and report back on her impressions. And while she had little idea how to proceed, Hortense was willing to try nearly anything to please Floyd. "What would I do in an office?" she replied nervously. "I wouldn't know how to act in an office, and I wouldn't have the faintest idea of what to say to a secretary." As their meeting concluded, Mr. Bonwit may have felt relief at Hortense's ignorance of the corporate world. But as he took his guest by the elbow and gently guided her toward the door, he had little way of knowing that Hortense's inexperience belied an instinctive business acumen, that by the following year their roles would reverse, with Hortense occupying the corner office at Bonwit Teller, sitting at the stately desk as her secretary took dictation, supervising more than 1,000 employees, and directing a store that boasted record-breaking sales. Hortense was setting herself on a path that would thrust her into a career that she had never intended, that would challenge her notions of womanhood and force her to confront difficult truths. It was the start of a journey that would lay the groundwork for an evolution of the grand department store and a metamorphosis of American fashion. In the early 20th century, department stores were a land of glamour and possibility. In a single afternoon, you could have the details of a wedding or funeral planned, find out the dates for the civil service examinations, send a telegram at a Western Union outpost, drop your baby at the nursery to have a leisurely lunch at the tea room, followed by an appointment at the hair salon. Arrange for the express delivery of an ermine fur wrap to your home, buy refrigerated steaks, or order a pair of rare green parakeets from the Seychelles Islands. There were stores with miniature zoos and fish ponds and mechanical boats, those with emergency hospitals and trained nurses, and even one store in Oklahoma City that sponsored a baby week, offering 9 infants for adoption, with 6 lucky tykes finding permanent homes. There were window displays featuring works by Georgia O'Keeffe and Salvador Dali, as well as those with elaborate Christmas trains and towers of delicate Easter eggs. While department stores were palatial wonderlands where a nearly boundless array of objects and services could be purchased or arranged, for women, they offered something even greater. From their very inception, department stores were uniquely female universes, where women commanded power in ways that were often unattainable elsewhere. Here, female customers held sway over male clerks and managers, whose jobs it was to serve them. Here, at a time when it was considered impolite and even dangerous for women to walk alone in public, department stores provided cover, enabling them to stroll and congregate on their own, to peruse store windows or purchase needed items. It was here, at the department store, that women could earn a living and, even more, receive the education and training to transform their jobs into lasting